Hi, welcome back to another episode of CrushedCinnamon episodes. So we're picking up from our first episode about friendships and social capital. So you might be wondering what exactly is social capital. Social capital really, in essence, is the idea that social groups thrive because they have shared values, shared norms. There's a sense of belonging, there is participation, there is diversity, there is shared identity, there is participation, and reciprocity. So society really can't function properly without social capital. So in essence, it is actually the most important thing, and the dynamics of it is what we're going to try and examine in our episodes. So picking up from the last episode, what happened? So am I still friends with a girl who told me that our friendship is not that deep? Yes and no. I'm not her friend in the sense of we are tight, we're close, we're best friends. We talk whenever we talk, and we haven't spoken for years, basically because she's a super introvert, and she's not really into social media and all this texting and calling, and we're in different countries, and again, out of sight, out of mind situation. And remember, she said, even though I was her friend, she didn't feel that friendship held any water. So obviously, she's not going to make an effort to build on the friendship. The other girl who had her own circle and incorporated me into the circle, we became very good and close friends. And honestly, my life was enriched by her being in it. And one can argue it's because, the other girl left the school, so by default I had to be friends with this girl. Actually, no. I'm very picky in who I share my life with. I'm very, very closed up person, not in the sense that I'm uptight or anything. I just don't know how to deal with friendships sometimes, and especially female friendships, because a little bit about me, I am an only girl in a family of boys, many boys, and so all I knew was interacting with the male gender and how their friendships formed, and it was very practical, it was very matter of fact. So when I went to boarding school, actually, I went to boarding school in Kenya, and that's the first time I ever interacted with females every day, all day, every day, and had to form female friendships. It was almost like it was a forced situation, and it was very, very interesting. It was an interesting world for me, and I still felt very alien in that world. I know it might sound weird, but it did feel quite strange, in the sense that, as we spoke in the last episode, women and females have their own one way of language, of interacting, of forming groups. Today you're in my circle, tomorrow you're not. Today I like you, tomorrow I don't. Today I'm petty, it's all that. And I wasn't used to that. I was used to something solid, something, we are together, we are friends, we agree on one thing, let's roll, so I had to adjust a lot, and in that respect, actually, it's made me focus on a lot of the things that we spoke about in the last episode about social capital, the reciprocity, the shared belonging, shared identity. That is the main thing right now. Look at with the friendships I have, the relationships I formed. We have a sense of shared identity. And what has become really important now, I'm in my 30s, and is reciprocity, the fact that there's mutual benefit. I am this type of person. I'm quite resourceful. I'm that person of, if you need anything, I got you. I will take time. I will research. I will make lists. I will give up my time to make sure the cause of my friends or family is achieved. Now, for some reason, when it comes to my causes and my things, I don't get the same back. And it's quite interesting. I don't understand exactly why that has happened over the years. And in terms of adding value, in terms of life, growth, things that you can actually say they're tangible, it's very I can actually count the things that have been added into my life because of friendships. And that's because really I came to really understand eventually. I took a livestock, if I can call it that, of people in my life and the people I had given access to. And that's another thing we will tackle, that not everybody has to have access to your life. Just because you're friendly, that's okay, but doesn't mean that everyone has to have access of your time, of your resources, of your knowledge, of your bank of wealth of information, or even money, in that sense. So, as always, my stories are the ones I learn from, and I prefer to share and be vulnerable and be real in that way. So it happened that I had a friend. We met in primary school actually, and you might wonder why I'm having primary school stories a lot, but I think now it's because I am reflecting a lot on them because I carried them over. For those who didn't tune in the last episode, I did say that because of the nature of my father's job when I was younger and actually into my teens, it meant that whenever he was moved to another location, we move. So it meant building friends again, building a network again, and that was quite difficult. So I met this girl, and actually our parents were already friends, and we became friends, and it was good. And we moved to England together, but at different times. And I realized I was always the one who was asking or helping out. Whenever she had something, I'm there 100%. I even helped her move out of her college space and everything. She was dating long distance as well before she got married. And whenever I'd go, because she dated a guy in Kenya, and whenever I'd go to Kenya, she'd send me with lots and lots of stuff for this guy, and I was so happy. And in fact, because I really wanted their relationship to thrive, I'd support her in whatever things she needed. I'd give her counsel, I'd give her whatever knowledge, insight I had into the male species world, because I had become a pro, because I'm an only girl with brothers. Funny. So when I was getting married, yes, I am married and I have a baby who is 15 weeks old now. And when I was getting married, she approached me and asked me what she can help me with, and I was really flabbergasted because she's never asked me for help. She's never offered help in anything. I've always struggled and she can help me, but anyway, we know those kind of people. Even as I talk, you have those kind of people in your mind. And I told her what I needed her to help me with, and it was quite a small task because she was going to buy some fabric for a wedding she was attending. So I wanted similar fabric, actually what we call lassos and vitenge for creating clothes for my bridesmaids. So she was like, "Oh, I got you. That's okay. That's fine." And 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I kept asking her. She kept giving me excuses. That was it. And I finally sat down and I thought, actually, we have known each other over 25 years. 20, 30, actually more than 30 years. And every time I ask you to do something for me, you'll always give me an excuse. If I need your help, you'll be the first one to jump or say something, or there's no reciprocity, basically. I almost didn't say that word. And I just wrote her a message and I said, you know what, I've sat you down on a couple of occasions and I said, you have become this person who always takes, but never gives in our relationship as friends. I think it's getting to a point where, one, you've undermined my time, because I knew you've got it when I asked you to get this fabric. So I didn't make time to get these fabrics. I trusted that you will do it. So time has flown. So I literally had to do things last minute and involve my boyfriend, now husband, to actually go get the fabrics, which was not what I wanted. And then she just, in a very melancholy kind of nonchalant kind of way said, oh, I'm sorry that I let you down. I had so much going on. I was like, what was that was going on? He said, actually, I was just lazy. I didn't go. I kept postponing. And I said, I was so hurt because during her wedding, I spent money. I took time. I created, I gave resources, I researched, and it wasn't because I wanted that favor to come back to me. No. Actually, during her wedding, I'd never even thought I'd get married. I'd closed that chapter. That's a story for another day. But it was the way she looked at things, like, it's okay, you'll understand. You always understand, don't you? Why are you stressed about this whole thing? Like, for her, it wasn't a big deal. It was, I always fail you, it's okay. And I actually told her this is the end of our friendship, and it's been great. If we meet along the way, obviously I greet her. Our families are still friends, but it's somebody I closed the door for, and I became really happy. And it was an end to a relationship that was very challenging, and I learned that you can't let, one, everybody has access to you, and two, reciprocity is important. Yeah, you can't have a relationship whereby you're not going to support each other. Are you that friend? And this is the challenge. Are you that friend? You see your friend needs your help. Probably they need help just for a couple of hours. You do take them somewhere because they don't drive, or their car is in the shop being fixed, and you just give excuses. Are you that friend who knows that your friend needs help with painting, redecorating, and you're skilled in that, and you don't want even to give 2 hours, and they've asked you politely, even they're gonna pay you probably, and you just give excuses because you don't value that friendship? Really, you don't. Let's be honest, you don't. And I want us to be more interrogative of the way we deal with our friends, interrogative with the way we contribute in our friendships. We've been seeing those memes flying that we'll go to concerts for Beyonce that, especially in England, they're expensive, over £100 sometimes the seats. And for a concert for your friend, you will not even pay a $5. What's that all about? Why are we this way? Why do we have this bad behavior? Why is it that we can't show up for our friends when they need us to be there and be real and hold their hand, So So I want us to be more intentional. I want us to be the one. Remember in the last episode, I spoke about being the one that shows up for our friends, that is actually participates in the relationship. It's not about take. Give and show appreciation to the friendships that you have, the relationships that you have in your life. Okay, so thank you for tuning in this episode of CrushedCinnamon. Thank you for the love you showed for the other episode, the first episode that we have, and let us grow this family. Thank you.